Welcome to She's Black,
where we keep it real, raw, and relentless
about all things Black women.
Hi, I'm Kibet.
Hi, I'm India.
And we are the hosts and founders of She's Black. We're grateful to have you here with us today. This is our first episode, so we'll be letting you know a lot about what we are, what we're going to be doing, and what you can expect from our show. So if you would, go ahead and make sure, if you're watching us on YouTube, to like, follow, subscribe. Make sure you share with your friends, share on your social media platforms. We are on Facebook at The She's Black Show. We're on Instagram also at The She's Black Show, and on YouTube at The She's Black Show. So just make sure you like, follow, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the notifications button so you don't miss an episode. You can also catch us on all of your podcast platforms. So whether it is Apple or Spotify or, Google, however you listen to your podcast, make sure that you tune in to the She's Black Show. And again, thank you for your presence. We really appreciate it. So welcome to the She's Black Show. We're going to talk a little bit about who we are as individuals and a collective. A little bit about how we met and things like that. So I'll tell you again, my name is Kibet. I'm a 40-year-old mother. I am an entrepreneur. I am also full-time employed as a restaurant manager, a restaurant partner. And so I'm a busy woman. I'm married. But aside from all of those technical things, I'm an artist, I'm a creative, and I am just a Black woman who really cares about, learning to love myself and my journey, and also other Black women, and edifying a community of Black women. So, Miss India?
All right, well, I'm India, 23, 36.
Y'all 36. Right? We doing that? Okay.
Mom of 4 now. Recently had a new baby. She's 6 weeks. I'm so excited and so wrapped up in her. But I don't create as much as she do. But, I create a little bit here and there. I love music. Love to dance. I love music. Like, for real. But, I have a waxing business named Wax the Cat. Shout out to that. You can follow that too on IG. But that's pretty much the labels that I have right now.
All right. So just so y'all know how we met, we have a long-standing friendship. Well, I would consider it long-standing, being that I'm ex-military and I kind of moved around a lot. And since I settled here, probably very shortly after I settled here, I met her. So we've been friends now for 15 years.
How long have you been at the military when you moved here?
So I moved here in 2006, officially 2006. And I got out of the military officially 2005. So
okay.
I was kind of fresh out of the military.
I was that close.
Yeah, I was fresh out of the military when I moved. Well, no, actually it was about a year out. I spent about a year out in Texas before I moved back to Georgia. But we met about 15 years ago. We met in a bookstore. She walked in with her husband and her new baby at the time. Yeah, her husband at the time. Her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Her ex-husband, but he was her husband then. And her new baby. And it was her first baby. As she said, she's a mother of 4 now. So it was her first baby, who is 15 years old. 16.
Jamal is 16.
He's 16 years old. And he was about 5 or 6 months when we met. So she walked into this store and she had this natural raw afro and she was all chocolate and, they just looked absolutely beautiful. And in my mind, I just knew they didn't come from here. Like they had to, they were here from Africa or something. I don't know, but they weren't from here in Albany.
They used to ask us all the time, are you from Jamaica? Like, no.
Right. Like, you either from Africa or you from Jamaica. Black people don't come from nowhere else. Nowhere else in the world do Black people come from. But no, they were from right here in Albany, Georgia. And it was like meeting kindred spirit. It was really good to meet someone that I felt like I could relate to and looked like me, had natural hair, was comfortable with it. Because way back then, This was not the thing. This was not popular.
Oh,
we were still in micro
wow.
braids back then, so this wasn't it. But to be able to see that was amazing.
I actually feel like we kind of took the torture back in then of the criticism, because I remember my fro. I remember seeing you had a big fro, but mine was short, but I thought it was like this big. And everyone used to always be like, especially my mom, them, the older people, why you wear your hair like that? When you do something with
Comb
your
your
hair.
hair. It's combed.
Yes. And not all of them, even the older people, are now natural.
Right.
But they used to feel like something was wrong with us for doing that.
Right. You don't comb your hair. You don't look good. Take care of your hair. All that hair I grew on your head. They just be mad at us.
My
for
mama
being
used
natural.
to actually think it was like I had gone crazy. Like, we can get into this on another topic.
Whole nother, yeah,
Another time.
that's a whole nother show talking
Yeah.
about our hair. But so a little bit about what inspired this show. Several things really inspired the show, and I think it's been a long time coming, to be honest. I think the need to have, for me personally, I'm not going to speak broadly, but for me personally, to be able to have candid, transparent conversations about who I am as a Black woman, about my growth and the traumas and the things I've been through. I remember it had to be some years ago. I think at the time you had 2 babies, and me and her and another friend were all sitting over her house at the time, and we were kind of sharing childhood stories, and it was kind of crazy, like, oh my goodness, I really thought I had my own lifestyle channel stories and nobody else shared those, and her stories were fairly similar. And so just realizing, like, wow, if we actually talk and we share things amongst each other, we realize there's more that connects us than there is that separates us, and you find so much healing in that. So I think for that reason it's been a long time coming. But what made the show actually happen was honestly me being pregnant. Being pregnant and saying, I can't work the way I am the rest of my life and actually raise my children. And now I'm expecting a daughter, my first daughter. My other children are boys. And so really wanting to be influential in my daughter's life and provide for my whole family in a different way than money provides. And then, of course, I thought about her. She was pregnant at the time. Of course, her baby is 6 weeks still. 7
Yeah, she's 6 weeks.
6 weeks
well,
old.
she'll be 7 weeks Monday.
So, yeah, 6 weeks old. So at the time she was pregnant as well. And just knowing, the hardship of having to work day in and day out for someone else to provide for your child. And the instability, if anybody, we all know now how unstable or unstable job market can be after the pandemic. You just never know if you're going to keep that job one day or the next.
Right.
And we can't gamble, the livelihood of our families on things other than what we're able to create and put together ourselves. So with that being said, this is one big step to, being able to holistically care for ourselves and our family and our community as a whole. So like I said, a long time coming, but for me, that's what inspired it and what inspired you to join.
The past 7 years, I feel like I've sacrificed, when me and my children's dad, the first 3 did split ways, I feel like I sacrificed so much time working, 12-hour shifts all the time just to make sure they were good. But I missed out on so much, and I really don't want to do that. Besides, working that job, it's pretty much routine. You want to do something to create. And I have always said a long time ago, I want to do something with women. I just didn't know what it was. I want to do something with women. Before, you came to me with this, I was at the, my uncle had a studio, and I was doing a podcast there. It was called Up the Bar. But it was mostly men in the studio. It's I really couldn't find any women that had the time to, join. But when Jabril came to me, Kiba came to me and she brought me the idea. I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I've been wanting to do.
So yes, we are super excited about it and about, what we have coming. We do want to let you know, in a little bit, you'll get to meet Tashi and Chazzy, and we'll talk a little bit about what they will be doing, but they are awesome, and they are a huge part of the She's Black show. So we'll be excited to let you meet them and them to introduce themselves and what they will be doing. But let's talk about what you can expect from our show. What we're here to give you. I'll let you start on what you feel they can expect from our show.
I felt that we were going to give you a show where, like, you know, a lot of times we go through stuff and everybody has their version of what happened. But, you know, sometimes you want to say something, let's say, about something that you went through. And you don't really give the raw version because you don't want to offend anyone. You might be like, oh, my mom might watch this, or my sister or a friend might feel some type of way. So this is going to be a show where we actually get to speak on how Black women really feel about things. If we're feeling mad about this or happy about this, how we really feel about things without, you know, worrying about the backlash of it. Because people really don't get to really be honest about how they feel about a lot of things because you're worried about what somebody says. So you might get mad at something we say here and there, but don't stop watching. You know, stay tuned.
Right. So you can expect exactly what our tag says. We're keeping it real, raw, and relentless. We're going to talk about real things that are actual, you know, that are factual, things that matter and that impact and affect us every day. We're going to talk about the gritty and the dirty of those things because not everything is as pretty as we look once we put on makeup and we're camera ready.
Right.
You know, a lot of things are bonnets and ugly fights and times where we stop talking to each other and crying in closets and all those things that make us who we are, you know, good, bad, and ugly, and everything in between. So we're going to talk about a lot of interesting topics, you know, from understanding who we are and our value to, you know, why we consistently seem to pick the wrong men, to why we are scared to jump full force into entrepreneurship. You know, there's all of those things, like we said earlier, our hair or you know, people just feeling comfortable invading our personal space. So there's a lot of things that we don't discuss enough that we need to, and a lot of things that we've kept inside since we were children that we need to like release and get it out and learn how to filter through those things in a healthy way. So that's what you can expect from us. And so just a little bit about who we are talking to, who our audience will be, you all, of course. But we are kind of a 21 and up. And that's not because we don't have subject matter that's relevant to younger, because we definitely do. It's just sometimes the way that we may discuss the subject matter may not always be appropriate for minors. Now, that isn't to say that they can't listen to it. I'm sure they've heard much worse on regular television than the way we will communicate. However, out of respect for parents, and for the children and the minors, we ask that you filter the conversations before you share with your minor children. So, you know, don't just have a big family night and decide we're going to watch a She's Black show with your 9 and 10-year-old and you've not watched that particular episode before because, oops, it might surprise you. It might not be time for that, or now you have to deal with a lot of questions that you weren't ready for. So filter it first. If you find it appropriate, go back and share with your kids, your daughters, your sons, you know, your husbands, your significant others, whomever.
Like how Tasha said, you might get to talking about something from the top, like it drop.
Right. You never know. You never know really what you're going to get. So with that being said, that's our explicit content disclaimer. There is a possibility that you may hear something that is not quite appropriate for anyone under the age of 21. So how often will you get a new episode? Every 2 weeks. And we are going to commit to that. We're committing to giving you 26, if I can count right, 26 episodes a year, or one episode every 2 weeks. You will get an opportunity to see our faces, tune in, hear something new, hear something, you know, a new topic, something more relevant, something else to think about. And we need space. We're mothers. We work. We need some time.
Some weeks you cannot link up at all. So,
right. So that's the reason we're not giving you something every week. And I feel like you get tired of us if we gave you something every day. So every 2 weeks is what we're going to commit to. And those 2 weeks will be on Wednesdays. So look for an episode loaded up every Wednesday. We'll try to have it loaded up. So if you get up first thing in the morning and that's what you want to do, that it's available. So we'll be working to get it loaded Tuesday night. So Wednesday it'll be fully available for you.
And like 45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour. So won't be too long. We won't go over an hour. If we do, we're probably going to edit it back down to an hour just because who has that much time to sit and listen to people or watch people. We
Watch us on your lunch break.
Right. We just don't have that.
If you got an hour lunch break.
If you have an hour lunch break. Exactly. All right, y'all. So earlier we mentioned Tashi and Chazzy, the other ladies of the She's Black show. And so just so you can know what they will be doing, will be super exciting, very interactive, and live and right there with you all. So they will be doing a segment that will be every other Wednesday in between the podcast release. And those are called the Deeper Dive Lives. That is an opportunity for you all to join the podcast. You can tune into the lives. You can comment on the lives. You can request to be a part of the lives and actually be on the footage, on the lives. You ask us questions, talk about your experiences or your feedback or your thoughts on the episode. You know, you may have an opinion or an experience that is totally different from ours, and it may enlighten us. It may enlighten other viewers or other people that are tuning in as well. So we look forward to meeting you, and that's exactly how we will get an opportunity to do it on our Deeper Dive Lives, which will be hosted by Chazzy and Tashi, and we're going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Check it out, y'all. It's your girl Chazzy. I will be one of your hosts for your Deeper Dive Live. Feel free to give us your feedback. Let's have a conversation and talk about it. Remember, this is all things Black women.
Greetings, fellow Earthlings. I am Tashi, and I am one of your co-hosts for the Deeper Dive Lives. I would love and I can't wait to hear your feedback, your feelings, your emotions, and everything you got going on inside of there. I can't wait to hear all about it, okay? I'll see you soon.
Now that you all have met Chazzy and Tashi, we're also going to talk about another part of our segment that is super important, and that is our hot seat questions. Hot seat questions. That is, you know, the moment that you get put on the spot. So, India, you want to talk a little bit about?
What's going to be like something where you got to be really transparent?
Yes, it's going to be a moment that you have to be transparent. You have to be raw. You have to be raw. You got to give it all you got. You know, there's no buffer. There's no smoke screen. It is what it is. So,
okay, when it comes to the hot seat question, okay, are we going to be coming up with them? Like, I'm going to surprise you with the questions that you don't know about?
I definitely think that's worth it. Like, because if you already know what the questions are going to be, then there is an opportunity to rehearse those questions. There may be some questions that we've gotten from our viewers that we may just throw in there and say, hey, you know, so-and-so asked this question, and we're going to give it our honest answer. But throwing in a question, I think, will be good as well.
Put you on the spot.
Yes, and just so we can be honest, because at the end of the day, this show is not worth it if it doesn't create a space in which we all feel comfortable telling ourselves the truth. Yeah. You know, just getting the whole truth out. Hot seat questions could take us in a roller coaster of emotions, from like bringing up old things and we're like, whoa, we never dealt with that and we're pissed, or things that we're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe how much I've healed, and we're in, you know, a state of triumph and we're excited and happy, or moments that, you know, we reflect and we may be in tears. So you just never know, but the idea is to really get to the root and to the bottom and all the way into whatever it is that we are discussing or that we are talking about, and how we really feel. And it's to make you feel more comfortable with expressing, if to no one else but yourself, how you really feel about certain subject matters.
I get so tired of have to be politically correct about everything. You gotta think about every community before you say anything.
Right. That's
kind of annoying. Having to water down is everything. I even, when I'm on like social media, I'll type something and be like, no, I gotta phrase that different, delete. And like make it come softer, way softer than what I want it to be. So.
Right. And so we won't be doing that on this show. This is our show. We can do it how we want to do it. Our show. And, you know, you can, hopefully you stick with us and you love us for it. But, hey, the truth ain't for everybody.
Yeah, we're not going to agree on everything. That doesn't mean you have to stop watching. Like Friends, we're not going to agree on everything, but we're going to find some stuff. We're going to find a common ground or agree to disagree.
Right. And I think disagreeing sometimes is so healthy, because you get to really see other perspectives, and you learn how to live alongside people who have different perspectives, because we're not all made the same. If we were, this would be one world.
And we need that in today's world.
We need it. We definitely need it. So with that being said, we've introduced you to who we are, the She's Black show, what you can expect. And we hope that you join us for this journey. And we hope that you're along for the ride and that you enjoy it. And that not only enjoy it, but interact, Let us know what you're thinking about. Remember, you can catch us on social media, on Facebook at The She's Black Show, on Instagram at The She's Black Show, on our website at www.theshe'sblackshow.com. Also, watch us on YouTube, The She's Black Show, and catch our podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. We will be available every 2 weeks, every other Wednesday. So today's May 4th. You can expect the next episode to air May 18th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications button. That is the biggest way that you can support us.
Yes. Share.
Absolutely. And tell us what you want to hear about. It's fine. Sharing is caring, as my little boys say when they want something.
It can be
sharing
fun.
is caring. So with that being said, we will have a closing affirmation every week. So this week's closing affirmation is, my courage inspires the rising of nations. Thank you all for tuning in to She's Black, and we look to see you again next week. Bye-bye.